Hi, I'm Nikos. I'm from Malevolent Underground. I'm here with Malevolent Creation and Brutal Assault. And I want to start out with a question. Chris is with Cannella, the newest member of Malevolent Creation.
Yes.
How did this come about? Tell us the story.
From my perspective, well, I've been working with Phil on and off since about 2000 between jacks and guitars and stuff like that. So we've known each other for a very long time. And when, situations unfolded and I wasn't playing in the previous band I was in anymore, and I took some time down or some downtime, and we started talking about it. And to be honest, Jesse joined the band before I did, a couple of years before me, and we worked together at Dean Guitars. And he was like, dude, he's like, if you're gonna, if you want to come on board, it'd be you, me, and Ronnie. We have a great time. We can be the perfect gel. So it was really, I had to give it. Jesse was the one that kind of pushed me to do it more than anything.
Well, then also too, it's like he and Phil had a good relationship, so Phil was excited to get him on board as well because they've known each other for many, many years from that long time. So it's kind of like it seemed to feel right, in terms of just personality to personality. And that's 50% of the battle. A lot of times when it comes to holding together a successful unit, you have to get along.
Obviously, Phil's not here, but how do you guys feel like he's working out in the band so far? I mean, he was pretty much. They put his feet into the fire immediately, right?
Yeah, it's been, let's just say, it's talk about trial by fire. It was coming in, all right, great, let's have rehearsals. All four of us are jamming. Actually, start off, me and Jesse were jamming, then me, Jesse, and Ronnie were jamming, and then me, Jesse, Ronnie, and Phil were jamming. All right, seems to be going smooth. Let's get about 3 days into the tour, and what's the worst thing that could possibly happen? And then, don't get me wrong, it has not been easy, but today's the last day of the tour, and from my perspective, we couldn't have ended on a higher note.
So, now, what is the role? Are you a full-time member, or are you a hired gun? Full-time member?
Yeah, it's an all-unequal split.
So the next question is, when are you recording right now? What's going on?
No, we're all throwing. So Ronnie, he's also a very multifaceted musician. So he's a guitar player, pianist, everything. He's got a bunch of music that we're putting together for the new record. Jesse's got a bunch of stuff. I've got stuff. Phil's got stuff. So right now we're in the compilation phase of putting ideas together. It's still very early, but at least we know between each other that we have the chemistry to make a really killer record.
You said this is the last day of the tour. So
yes.
Other than what happened earlier in the tour, how's it gone since?
Well, that's kind of a loaded question. Because actually, I think we can all say the shows have been phenomenal. The shows have been great. It's just getting to each of those shows has been the trouble. I mean, we've seen 3 broken transits. A 4th one, which was it was meant for a bunch of tiny little people, and yet all of us that last band was still changed.
Yeah, so some of the crowds are still great. Fans have been fantastic. Getting to and fro some of the shows and so forth is a challenge, which you can't do. Jacks and borders all across the way. So the fans have been absolutely fantastic and extremely supportive of us coming and continuing the tour in Phil's absence. It's a heavy load to carry when he's not there. So, yeah,
right.
So the fans have been absolutely supportive.
But some of the hotels have not been. Some of the things that we've, many of the staircases that we've dealt with have not been very awesome.
A lot of gear up, a lot of stairs. It kind of comes with the territory.
And you're doing it at 1 in the morning.
It's Europe.
Yes. Exactly.
So now, last time I read about Phil that he was on his way back to Florida. And what's his condition? Have you guys talked?
Actually, it's Ronnie can probably answer better. You speak to him more than. Oh, actually, you and Jesse also do a little bit of job.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's he's doing better. He's on the mend. He's making daily progresses and so forth. He's got some internal issues that he's still going to the doctors to deal with, but he's in very high spirits. He's extremely motivated to continue, and we expect him to do so.
What was his diagnosis exactly?
It's just essentially it was bacterial pneumonia, which if you have any sort of like immune system issues and stuff, it can be like a really serious condition. So it was just something that kind of came on really quickly, and we kind of kept an eye on it. We dealt with it the best way that we could. We got him help when we knew that it was the absolute time to do it.
I also read there was somebody that a friend of all yours that was here in Europe and was going to the hospital every day, took his gear back with him, and watched him.
It's my friend from Lyon. His name's Jean-Philippe Delbourg. He's a true friend, one of the most kind-hearted people I've ever met in my life. He took it upon himself to be there for Phil, to provide translations at the hospital, to provide transportation to the airport, to his accommodations to get him home. He did all of this on his own, free will. I didn't know one had to beg him to do it. He's just that kind of guy. So very fortunate to have him and a bandmate.
That's awesome. So obviously before this you were in Deicide, and you took 2 years off?
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
So what was that itch to get back into it again?
That was the longest stretch of time that I was home in over 20 years. So when your family goes, hey, you've been home really long, you're kind of irritating all of us. You need to start getting back at it. Basically, my wife and kids were just like, you haven't been playing at all. And I was always constantly on the go in one band or another, even before Deicide and stuff like that. Always, whether it be shorter tours or longer tours, I've always been an active musician on top of my jobs in the music industry. So it was really, they were the ones that really pushed me to get back out into it, and it kind of gave me a nudge.
Yeah, okay. Is there an N17 reunion coming up?
It's basically, for lack of a better term, it's a sayonara.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I don't have the full story behind it, except for the fact that everybody reached out to me and said, would you be willing to do one final one? And I said, let's sort out the logistics. If you can get that sorted out, then I'll do it. And then I'll fly home. So it's kind of an in and out thing. But it'll be a farewell, so to speak.
Cool. So now you both work for D Guitars?
Yes.
So what do you do there exactly, both of you?
I work in the USA custom paint shop. I specialize in wet sanding and buffing the finished products. After it's been fully painted and clear coated, I take it and fine tune it and make it something like nice and shiny, like a gem.
In the world of paint, it's like he makes it go from when it gets done being painted and ready to go, you have to make it shiny. So it's not just a spray coat. He sits there literally with a bowl of water, a wooden block, and different forms of sandpaper, and just slowly going through it to make this come to life.
Make it flat, and that way it goes from looking like applesauce to the surface of the mirror.
Gotcha. And you?
I'm the brand manager as well as the director of artist relations, so I basically work on research and development. I do all of the competitive analysis. I do anything that comes into creating a product line for the market, and also anybody who plays the guitars on an official or even semi-official level. I'm the one who handles them all. Everybody from Kerry King to the up and comers. So it's a lot, but fortunately, it's today's modern technology. I can do my job from anywhere in the world.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So since you've been quiet, I'm going to start with you on this question.
I'm just here for moral support.
So, what is your favorite Malevolent Creation album and why?
Retribution, for sure. I love the album. I love Marquez's drumming on it. I love the riffs in that one. A few years ago, we did a 25th anniversary Retribution tour. And I had the pleasure of playing all the songs every night, you know what I mean? And I just love that album. Second one probably would be Ten Commandments, Eternal next, and the rest kind of fall into place for me. But yeah, Retribution for sure.
Your turn?
Yeah, I think for me it's a little hard to say definitely, but I really do love and because of the melodic black metal elements that tend to permeate that album a lot. And so that's probably going to be my ultimate pick, you know. Just that's sort of the way I am when it comes to most bands that I love. As opposed to like maybe the first 2 or 3 Cannibal Corpse records, I really love what they were doing like in the 90s and certainly in the late 90s when it was really powerful and polished. And so I kind of fall into that category. Call me a booker.
Chris.
Honestly, I can honestly say this with an open heart. I mean, I think it was, I'd have to say Retribution and the Ten Commandments because you're the one that introduced me to it.
I know you introduced you a bunch of stuff. I didn't know it was that exactly. So.
Yeah. And you also turned me on to my first DSI record and my first Godflesh record. I mean, we go back a long ways.
A long ways.
Yes. So for anybody who's watching this or reading it or whatever it may be, Nikos has been on the cusp. He had his thumb on the pulse of extreme metal even before me in our group of metalheads back in the late 80s.
So, yeah, we were separated. Our high schools were separated by like 1 mile.
Yes.
So that's how far we go back. We were like competing high schools, and we had the same clique of friends. So we were always in the same party circles at that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a long time. But I want to thank all of you for taking place in this interview, and I hope that you had an awesome time at Brutal Assault. I saw the crowd. The crowd was going nuts the whole time. Yeah, it was good beer here. It was good people here. So thank you again.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Our pleasure, man. Thank you so much, man.